we also have to answer before that another question. What is the nature of women? What is their nature? We can only really talk about whether something or someone oppresses women or not when we understand what is the nature of women. Does Islam deprive women of their nature? Does Islam take away from them rights that are naturally due to them, due to their nature? This is the question. And then we will see, certainly, without a doubt, that there is no way that Islam oppresses women. Because Islam is the religion that recognizes, in fact, the true nature of women. Because it is from the one who created women. It is from the one who created the universe. Islam is from Allah. It is from God. It is from the Creator. And He knows us better than we know ourselves. He is closer to us in His knowledge than our jugular vein. He is intimate in His knowledge with every single detail of our existence. Allah, He is Al-Latif. He is the one who is aware of every single subtlety. And Islam has been revealed by Allah, and Allah is the one who is most acquainted with the nature of the woman and the nature of the man. And so what we find in the religion of Islam is that Islam has set a paradigm, Islam has set an example. Islam has given us and defined for us the roles of men and the roles of women according to our natures, not according to some ideology, not according to some hopeful or wishful thinking that wouldn't it be nice if this and wouldn't it be nice with that. But this is not actually connected in any way with the reality of how people are. And what we're going to find, indeed, is that the Western world has been experimenting with human beings on a massive scale for the past 60 years. Humanity has been going through a massive experiment. And I'm sure we are all familiar with the ideology prevalent in the West. The ideology that tells us not that men and women are different, but that men and women are the same. There is no difference between the man and the woman. And as they claim, our differences are a product of conditioning. Our differences are a product of conditioning. This is the old debate between nature and nurture. Nature and nurture. What is your nature and what have you been nurtured? What have you been grown up with? How much of our mentality, how much of our behavior is a product of our nature, and how much is a product of our environment and our upbringing? And of course, as you know, the Western ideological system, and not only the Western, I mean whether, of course, communism is not really existing anymore, except perhaps in China, but it has been a prevalent ideology in the West, and then by necessity, not only in the West, but this has been hoisted upon the rest of humanity, because without doubt, as we know, the West controls the mass media. The West has the most influential say in the ideologies that are prevalent in the world. So this is their ideology. Men and women are the same. And the reason, as they have been claiming, that boys like to play with guns and cars, and they like mechanical things, is because that's the way we've been brought up. Our parents indoctrinate us. Boys wear blue, boys play with cars, boys like guns. And girls, they wear pink, and they play with dolls, you know, and they like makeup and earrings and stuff like that, because they've been conditioned to be like that. So this is what they have been saying. In fact, there's no reason why girls shouldn't play with guns and cars and wear blue, and there's no reason why boys shouldn't wear earrings. Well, I mean, these days, they shouldn't wear earrings and wear pink, okay, and play with dolls. There's no reason. Now, interestingly enough, believe it or not, in Israel, or we should call it occupied Palestine, they have been conducting, for many years now, for the past 40 years, there has been a famous kibbutz experiment, an experiment on a kibbutz. Now, in this kibbutz, what they did is they separated as much as possible from the earliest possible age. They separated children from their parents. And the reason they did that is because they did not want their parents to influence the children in their habits and their behavior. In other words, what they were attempting to do was to eliminate the nurture side. Eliminate nurture and let their nature come forward. And what they thought and what they believed, and this was their ideology, is that children would not care what toys they played with. And this is what they did. They left these children in dormitories on their own as much as possible. And in the dormitories, they put toy guns, toy cars, mechano sets, dolls, makeup, jewelry, so on and so forth. And they thought that what would be proven from this experiment that went on for 40 years is that they wouldn't care. The boys would be just as happy playing with dolls as the girls. And the girls would be just as happy as playing with cars and guns as the boys. But what did they actually discover after 40 years of experimentation? Consistently, time after time after time, the boys would take the toys that were guns and cars and mechanical things. And the girls would take the dolls and take the makeup and the jewelry. This is what they discovered. 40 years they did this experiment. And in fact, they've been experimenting with humanity. They've been experimenting with society on a massive scale. They have been trying to indoctrinate us for years and years under the guise of what they call feminism, the same ideology. And what they have discovered now, scientifically, they have proven that boys and girls are different from the very earliest age. And they have done controlled scientific experiments that have been reviewed by peer groups and confirmed again and again that boys look at certain things and certain toys and they concentrate them from birth. From the moment they can start seeing, they concentrate on certain things that are of a mechanical nature. And girls, they concentrate on things that are what they call the girly things. And so there's no possibility for these babies to be subjected to some type of brainwashing by society. In other words, it's biological. It's inbuilt into us. It's our nature. Men and women are different. That is the fact. It's in our biology. It's in our very makeup. Now, let us read something that has been mentioned by a French Nobel laureate. His name is Alex Camel. And this is what he said. The difference between men and women are of more fundamental nature than is usually realized. And that these differences are caused by the very structure of the tissue and by the impregnation of the entire organism with specific chemical substances secreted by the ovary. Ignorance of these fundamental facts has led promoters of feminism